Here are 5 reasons why you should not buy a home right now. Are you considering buying a home in the current real estate market? Here's 5 top reasons why you should not. Well, you're probably thinking, Lay, you're a Toronto real estate agent. Isn't it your job to help me buy and sell a home in the Greater Toronto Area? Are you nuts? And some agents might be thinking, shaking their heads right now, why I'm doing this video. But hear me out. While owning a house is often seen as a significant milestone and sound investment, there are certain situations where it may not be the best decision. And I personally believe that at some point in your life, owning a real estate should be a part of your retirement portfolio. But upon watching this video in its entirety, you'll realize that probably you're gonna agree with me that today might not be one of those times. Hi, my name is Lay, and I'm a licensed real estate broker in Ontario, serving the Greater Toronto Area in Canada. If this is your first time here, welcome. And for those who have stayed with me all this time, welcome back. Let's dive into it. Reason number 1, it's a competitive market right now. If you've been following the news, you've probably seen or heard about bidding wars coming back since the beginning of March. If you're an active buyer right now, you've probably been in one or more of those offer presentations. It's tough, very, very tough. And I feel the pain of buying a home at this time. You've got to be ready. In order to be successful in buying a home right now, you need to have all your ducks in a row. You need to ensure you have been pre-approved, your documents checked and verified by a human. You probably heard about AI right now, and some lenders are using them to do pre-approval. Make sure that it's not the case with you. Submit 2 years income in the form of T4s or notice of assessments together with your job letter and latest pay stub. If you're a self-employed, you need your 2 years T1 general, especially if you're working in multiple jobs part-time and in different industries. Have those verified to ensure that it's acceptable to the lenders. The last thing you want to do is win a bidding war because you submitted a firm offer with $50,000, $100,000 bank drop deposit attached, and the next day the lender declined. If that happens, you just won yourself a headache and maybe a lawsuit. I'm telling you this from experience and as a licensed realtor and mortgage agent. These are the true scenarios I'm telling you, my friend. I'm not making this up. We'll talk about pre-approvals and documentation in another video because that's a video of its own. I know it's unbelievable how to offer a house right now. Even with a pre-approval, the listing agent pushes you to make a firm offer because the other buyers are putting a firm offer. And if you don't, regardless of putting the highest offer, your offer will be rejected. And eventually you will close your eyes and send the firm offer. To those who hasn't been in an offer presentation, you can put one of 2 types of offer, a conditional or firm offer. I should probably make another video for that. In a bidding war, aside from putting the highest offer, you also most likely will put a firm offer or no conditions. This means you're giving away your right to inspecting the property with a licensed home inspector. You're also removing a financing condition. That means you're taking full responsibility if you get declined for a mortgage. As some mortgage agents, sometimes I get referred clients from some lawyers that needs me to find them financing in a day. Not gonna happen. So if you are not confident about your situation right now, it's okay to stay renting or staying at home with mom and dad. Save more money and fix your credit. Reason number 2, it's a lifetime commitment. It might sound as an exaggeration, but it really is like a lifetime commitment. 25 to 30 years and some 35 years is a very long time. It's like marrying your house. If you're in your 40s right now and you're thinking of just putting the minimum mortgage payment every time, which is to some homeowner, myself included, is already a lot. You'll be 65, maybe more, before you can own your house mortgage-free. If you didn't have discipline and just spending your money on anything and everything that fancies you and putting off making extra on your mortgage, that's how long you have to pay it. Unless you're earning a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money, you might be needing someone else's help to qualify and get pre-approved for a mortgage, like your spouse, your kids, your friends, your girlfriends, especially with skyrocketing prices in the Greater Toronto area. And what now? I just had a podcast about the Toronto housing market, where the average home in Toronto is about 1.25 million. If you're partnering with a friend or investor, are they fully committed to do this mortgage with you for that amount of time? You have to think about this seriously. Reason number 3, employment and commute. The recent pandemic has opened a new way of working without the commute or less commuting option for most employees, thus enabling them to be able to live wherever they want as long as there's reliable internet. It's true, many times I've done deals while I'm on vacation outside of Canada. If you're open to moving further away from city, then this arrangement can work. And if you can only afford to buy at the other end of the earth, then it can work. If your work requires you to travel to work every day or a few days a week, is it convenient or even doable for you? I remember my first boss in Canada. He used to commute from Kingston every week. He stays a few days here and then go back home. That's kind of doable. A lot of mileage on the car though. But he takes the train. So the question is, will it work for you? Imagine if you work downtown and you live in Oshawa. That's where the majority of city dwellers move in the last 2 years. It's accessible by train and subway, but the commute is about 3 hours a day. Imagine working 8 hours plus 3 hours commute. You wake up like what? 6 o'clock, maybe earlier if you have kids, and food to prep. Hop on a car or bus to the nearest GO train to Union Station, then take the bus or subway to your work. That's the ideal scenario. But of course, you live in Canada, you have to factor in delays because there's a lot of road closures due to construction during the warmer months and accidents in the winter months. There's no going around it. Reason number 4, liquidity. Real estate is not like stocks that you can get rid of in a day if it doesn't work for you. Yes, there are real estate signs that says sold in 0 days, but that's not the reality. Reality is closing date takes some time from 2 weeks to 4 months. I heard closings that are like 6 months down the road. What if you bought a pre-construction home? That will close in 4 years. Assignments are not always easy to do. It takes time. You have to remember that if there's a mortgage involved, you might have to pay a penalty if you or your partner ended up in a bad term. If this is an investment property and there are tenants involved, it will take some time. And last, the 5th reason, affordability. Everybody at some point wants to own a piece of real estate. Reality is, even the entry-level home prices are now out of reach for the average Canadian. How much loan can you qualify for? Well, if you're doing mental math, it's about 4 to 4.5 times your income. So to qualify for a $600,000 home, you're gonna need about at least 130K income. Whoa, did I just mental math that? Of course, I commuted it ahead. If you're buying a $600,000 home right now, you'll need a minimum of $35,000 for down payment and $9,000 for the closing cost. That goes to the land transfer tax, GST on the CMHC fee, legal fee, disbursement, adjustment, etc. Depending on whether you're a first-time home buyer or not, there are some rebates that you can get, but this is the minimum you need to have 90 days before you put any offer on any house. But that's not all. Home ownership is somewhat expensive to maintain. There's the mortgage payment, which is about $520 for every $100,000 loan. So if you own about $700,000, that's roughly $3,600 a month. Then heating about $100 a month. There's hydro, another $100 a month. Water heater rental, $50 a month. Garbage and water, $100 a month. Property tax, at least $200 a month. If you're living in a condo, that's another $500 a month for the condo fee. So when someone gets upset with me when I tell them they can't afford to buy a house on a $60,000 income, I'm not joking. If you want to live comfortably and not just to pay your house, you need to ensure that your housing costs Those are the ones that I just mentioned earlier are not exceeding 35% of your income. If you're earning $100,000 a year, of course, I'm going to use that number because it's easier to compute. You should only spend $35,000 of that for the housing cost. That's around $3,600 a month. If you insisted on buying a $700,000 house, you already spent the whole amount on house alone. Where are you going to take the extra $1,000 for utility? That doesn't even include the food on the table, the gas, the clothing. If you have kids, their activities. Then what? You'll resort to using your credit card to pay those. Then where are you going to get the payments for that credit card? Do you need to take another job for that? But you already spent 12 hours on your day job. If you take a part-time 4-hour job, which you commute at least 30 minutes each way, that's 5 hours already. There's only 24 hours a day. When are you going to sleep and what time you're going to spend with your kids? That's why it's best to buy a smaller but affordable house instead of a big house that you never get to spend time on. Owning a house can be expensive. It's true. With careful planning and saving strategically for down payment, it is the biggest financial investment that you can have in your lifetime. It will be the biggest chunk of your retirement fund as well if you plan it wisely. It's the quickest way to build wealth. If you feel ready to buy a house in the Greater Toronto now, or you want to find out how much house you can afford by doing a pre-approval, contact me and I will help you. I will link my information in the description below, or if you're watching on Instagram or Facebook, I will put it in the caption. Thanks for your time, and as always, at Homes by Lay, we'll make your dream come home.